Right? I don't think let me move this around where it's not too intrusive. The lighting here. It's difficult to get. I'm in all of these trees here. There's a little bit of light in the horizon here. The sun is beginning to come up, but unfortunately, you cannot see very well without this wonderful light here. So I kind of look like a phantom a little bit. Good to be with you, my friends. It is I, Father Bard, your spiritual entertainer, trying to find a good spot for this. Maybe right there. That will do it. Looks like I have a little bit of radiance, like a halo or something. Yeah. Out here in my beloved grove with you, my friends, awaiting for the rising of the sun for your entertainment leisure. It is kind of raining a little bit. It rained all night long. Um, so it is quite moist out. Eventually, it's going to feel like I'm in a shower because I am in a swamp in the middle of Florida. Good morning to you, our good friend Blake and Ara. Good to have you here for your entertainment leisure. Our good friend Blake is here. I will make this announcement again when there's more people on. But he is starting his YouTube experience, sharing the beauty of Wales and his passions with you. So go check out his channel. He needs to get those 50 subscribers to begin the process of live streaming, which will be lots of fun. Going out around Wales, live streaming, a very enjoyable pastime that I enjoy, sharing my world with you out here in the wilderness. So we support our good friend Blake here and wish him the best success. Later on today or tomorrow, we're going to be playing Monopoly as a community here. So get ready for that live stream. We're just trying to figure out what platform we'll be using. I think perhaps to have the best community involvement, Tabletop Simulator, I run it, the community watches, and I move the pieces around for them. That might be I prefer having it all automated, but I don't know if everyone could use the same services. So I'm still looking into that. I have Xbox Game Pass, and I have Monopoly on there. I think I also have a Monopoly on other platforms, maybe Ubisoft. I have to look. I have thousands of games that I've accumulated over my lifetime. So I have to look through all of these resources, right? Determine what I have. Yes, ELP as well. We're going to play. What would be fun would be these thematic Monopoly tables. Like on Tabletop Simulator, you got Lord of the Rings, Monopoly, Space Hammer, Warhammer 40K, Dungeons and Dragons, D&D. I mean, there's all kinds of D&D. I mean, there's D&D for normal people. There's also perverted forms of D&D with various comedy and stuff. Tabletop Simulator is so wonderful because it has all of these different experiences for your table. Plus, you can play all Warhammer on there. Every little thing that you buy at the shop, it's there in 3D, and you can move it around. You can play it with your own head. If you have a VR headset, you can play it as well. Sir Flame Drop the Long is here. Yes, we're doing Lives in the Darkness, coming to you from my sacred grove, waiting for the sun to rise, my friends. The light is taking its time getting here with us, so I have a lantern in the background here to illuminate my presence. Yeah, good to see you, our good friend Steve. Good to have you here. Yeah, a lot of changes that I'm doing on my YouTube. If you've noticed, I've changed. One of the things I'm doing away with is hashtags. I have learned that when you're into the hashtags with all of your videos, you remain in that you are typecasted by YouTube. So I'm no longer going to use hashtags because the algorithm will keep you on one spot. I have learned that. And I have learned to beat the algorithm in various ways. One of them was shocking it with YouTube Shorts. Now, I've learned that if you use too many YouTube Shorts, you could piss off your members. And after 3, YouTube will stop putting them in the flipping thing, what you do here on your phone. YouTube will consider it spam after 3. So if you are making YouTube shorts, it's good to keep them at 3 a day if you want natural growth. Now, if you want to shock the system, which I used to do 10 a day. You will have 10,000 views probably a day, and people who subscribe who would otherwise not really care about investing in like your live streams and stuff and videos long term. So that's something to consider. I have 80,000 subscribers, as some of you know, but most of these people, they're not interested in the content, right? They just do it for being shocked by this algorithm. So those are a few tips. I want people to be successful in the YouTubing, right? You went to Spain. How was it? Did you enjoy it there? Like the stream, people. Yes, if you're coming in, don't forget to hit the like button at the top of your screen. We are in a Druids Grove today. We are in a sacred place here. The mist is rising off of the ground here. I have a lantern because otherwise you wouldn't see me. It is quite dense, the mist and the darkness from the trees. I'll be able to turn it off probably within the next 20 minutes as more light begins to penetrate the atmosphere here. What did I do with my water? I got plenty of waters. Now we have a thing on here. Where did it go? There was something on here. Let me see if it's still here. Where is it at? Something I did put, let me see, super chat goal. I don't know where it went to. I thought I had super chat goal on here. Let me correct this. For some reason it had disappeared. Or I am not streaming from my proper thing. Did you, when you clicked on here, did you, when you joined the stream, was it from the one that I had pre-planned? Because I might not have clicked on it. Is it live from a Druids Grove? Is that what we have here? Or does it say Father Bard is live? Because I might have put on the wrong, I had another show all prepared. Can anyone tell me if when you clicked on it was live from a Druids Grove? You're going to go live tomorrow? You won't be able to. YouTube takes a whole month. Once you get those 50 people, it takes a month for them. Now, people wonder why this is in the processing. It says all you need is 50 subscribers. Well, that's a half truth. After you get to 50 subscribers, what YouTube will do is make sure these aren't robots. They will make sure they are genuine accounts. And that takes about 30 days of processing. And then you also have to process your information. They want you to go through all of these checks and things. So, unfortunately, my friend Blake, YouTube will not, even if you get 50 people, it won't let you. You're watching live from Northampton. Welcome, my friend. Dale, good to have you here. Yeah, it's quite unfortunate, right? All of the waiting. Now, what you can do is start making long, people like watching the long videos, and you can break up your long videos in shorts, take sections out of it from your environment of what's going on in Wales. Now, when you clicked on this, my friend, is this live from a Druids Grove or was it Father Bard live? I need to know because some reason my super chat thing isn't popping up here. Can anyone, when you clicked on here, did it say Druids Grove live or was it Father Bard is live? You cannot remember, unfortunately. Yeah, because I have something like pre-programmed here, and I don't know what's going on with it. Let's see. And I can't, Druids Grove live. All right, thank you, Jay. Now, my super chat goal did not come on, so I have to put that back on here. Now, for our super chat goal today, if I receive over 5 super chats, I will stream an extra hour today. There will be an extra hour. Let me put that on. I will stream an extra hour. Let me put that on there. I had this all on there. I don't know why it did not continue on here. Let me see, extra hour. There we are. All right. Let me see. It's 2 hours, 3 hours. Yeah. All right. Here we are. The super chat All colors, yes, all colors. This is a way I've been learning how to make money on here, right? Yeah, we did that, damn it. Okay, just start the goal. There we are. So 5 super chats today. I will remain another hour of streaming with you out here in the wilderness, my friends. Chauffeur of Ariana Grande, servant of Nuvis Vix is here. Pickles, the drummer, is here. The light's starting to come. I might be able to turn this off. Let me see here. Let me see if the light is there. Okay, we got light. The light has come. I'm no longer streaming in the darkness, right? Being led by the light of my glorious cell phone here. Uh, Dr. M. Midjay, good to see you. Just curious on Super Chat. Is that money or gifts? That is money. I found that giving out a goal has been helpful for me to make a living. Um, and Super Chats, you could be 5 cents, right? It doesn't matter to me. I'm trying to make a living, and this is the best way that I've found that is helpful to me. I liking and subscribing is wonderful, but the commercials they don't always. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you very much. Worn fingers, snail ears, and snake toes for our great creator, master craftsman of all things. Now, if you're interested in like jewelry, our friend here is a craftsman on our Discord channel. You import that you're able to ship out things, right? You are able to ship out to other people because he's offered to make me things as well. He made a beautiful triskelion recently. He had showed me. So if you are on our Discord channel and you want some beautiful, he has shared various things with us on there. Our friend here, Sir Flame Drop the Long, is a wonderful craftsman. If you're interested, he could ship it. Um, he is running a business, right? And he makes beautiful things. He even wanted to make Bardian rings for all of the people in Discord, but that was probably something that would be too expensive for. So we have too many members. Right? We got like 100 people right on our Discord, right? But we do appreciate that sentiment, right, for the Bardians here. Okie dokie, good to see you. Yeah, I'm on early today. Oh, for Saturdays and Sundays, I will be on 7 a.m. Now during the week it's 8:30 normally because of I have to take my kids to school, right? So I stream every day, and usually on the weekends, if my wife is going somewhere, I would do 2 streams. Usually it's just 1 stream on the weekends. The rest of the week, it's games every night. I play various games with community members, and I stream games myself. I'm helping out a developer with their new game or something. I will stream the game to promote their games that I think are worthy. Um, I play a lot of Warhammer recently with people in my community. Sometime this week, I have to get in Warhammer Rogue Trader because that has been a great way to educate people about the lore of the Warhammer universe. So I might do that Monday night. I usually 2 to 3 hours during the evenings during the week, Eastern Standard Time. I do gaming streams. I am the Space Wizard. That's right. I am the Space Wizard. And if you watched our Dungeons and Dragons game last night, we had a great time. Thank you, my friend. I really appreciate you. We're almost to that goal. Damn. Oh my. We might be doing an extra hour here, my friends. I appreciate that. All the way to the UFC game tonight. Yeah. Jesus Christ, you wonderful, wonderful. Don't abandon the thought of those body and rings just yet. I'm just lazy and busy. See how dedicated we have. So many wonderful people in our Discord community, real dedicated people to the idea of community, right? One of our members, now I never asked him to do this. He lives up in the mountains, right? Some of you know our friend, Why Not? He is a real mountain man, right? He's got a shower that's outside from rainwater that he uses, right? He stopped eating rabbits because of the stream here. Now, I don't care what he eats, but because he knows we love rabbits here, he stopped. Thank you, Kim. Nice to see you, our good friend, Kim Connors. You're still waiting on the ring? Yeah. Um, rough and tough, Alex. Yeah, our friend from the mountains, certainly. Yeah, we really appreciate him very much. Spiritual entertainment, my friends. 7 days a week, I am here for your entertainment leisure. Every morning, I stream. The topic matter is really an issue of what you bring to the table here. Most streams during the week, they're filled with lots of comedy. Here in my grove, I try to be very serious, but that doesn't always work out, right? This is my spiritual center here, my temple out here, my sacred grove that I'm sharing with you. Where I come uh, throughout the week, I will come out here to do meditations and spend time with my trees and my animals. Sometimes my animals scare the shit out of me. Like this morning coming in, I don't know what if it was a bear or a flock of deer as I was coming in off the path, just making all kinds of damn noise, scared the shit out of me, right? There's all kinds of wild creatures out here. You are on the algorithm now. Thank you. I'm riding the wave of the rhythm, right? Trying to make a living. Our fundamentalist Roman Catholic friend Mordecai is here. Thank you for the thumbs up, my friend. Yeah, we have people. Oh, thank you, Kim. I appreciate you. Look at that. We're almost at the top of our super chat goal. Look at that. Thank you so much. Right? My super chat goal is filled. All of your desires for another hour or until my battery dies. I could probably pull off 3 hours until I get to 10%. I need at least 10% of my battery to exit because you never know. I might in the sinkhole or get mauled by wolves or something, boars. So I have to have at least 10%. That whatever deficit I'll certainly make up in the future. Thank you, a Kevinly man. You're a Kevinly man. You've been eating more sausages since your homosexual Tuesdays and Thursday. Well, I'm glad I'm able to provide for your desires, my friend. We've had some good times behind 7-Eleven. How are you doing? I'm doing good, Homer. Is that your name? Omer. Omerto. Good to have you here, our friend. Let's see here. Yeah, we have a wonderful, wonderful community of diverse people. If you're interested, go to the join button. Buy me a coffee, small, medium, or large, and you can join this wonderful group of creative people and wonderful people who are atheists, who are pagan, and who are in the traditional religions of the world, and people who are self-proclaimed deities, right? And some are aliens, right? Some are aliens. We have aliens there. All for your entertainment, all getting along, right? We have one rule, no politics. Like the other day, somebody put on probably a cause that was just, but we don't do politics because we have a diverse people with various ideas, and politics tends to piss someone off all the time. So I don't do politics. I'm not interested in your politics. I'm not interested in your righteous cause, right? That's your cause. That's wonderful, right? I don't have a problem with what you want to do with your life. I am just an entertainer. And in entertaining, I want to entertain everybody. I want everyone in my theater having a good time. And when someone brings politics in the room, people will exit the theater. So we don't do that here. Sunlight is just hitting the background. You can see it. It's coming forth here. The light is falling upon the sacred grove here, my friends. Hit the like button as you come in. You are a part of Conjoined Quads. We have a band. Look at you. You are being creative. Yeah, I've always been fascinated by, this idea of conjoined twins. Now, if you know twins, there's a unique unity that they share already, right? Sometimes they can finish their sentences or make double gum commercials together. Twins reveal a unique reality of our humanity, of our unity that we share, right? The closeness, and yet individual expression of that unity, right? We are all part of one web of life, and we all manifest that in our own special way. And that uniqueness is a gift to the whole, to the individual. right? I remember one time I was reading this one Christian saint, Saint Catherine of Siena, and she was talking about what it's like to be in the heavenly dimension, right? And she was saying, you know, you bring a special gift there that everyone rejoices in, and everyone has a different gift. I thought that was a beautiful description. You know, whether that's her psychology speaking or she really had an experience, I don't know, right? But I thought that was beautiful, right? Division is natural, it's survival. Um, Division, the idea of survivability is not always a healthy thing, right? What's natural is your value and purpose. That is natural. The things and situations that we find ourselves in are not always natural. Uh, Confusing survivability with your value is a terrible thing. It is a terrible thing to do um, because it causes wars. It causes these divisions, which are unnatural. If you have to look at the human species as, you know, think of your body. You have all of these cells working together to make something beautiful, to make you. What happens when a cell wants to survive? You get cancer, right? So I don't accept the premise of your philosophy, my friend. We all come from the earth. We all return to the earth. The earth abides, my friends. The earth abides. You want a beautiful vision of earth? Go to Blake's Channel and you will see Wales, one of the most beautiful lands in the world. You are the Lorax. Look at you. Look at you hanging from the trees, having a good time. Yeah. No community is survival. Yeah. The idea of community rises out of this survivability. It recognizes that we have to be a community in order to survive. Right? That's what you have with the idea of community, that we need to work together, that we need standards to help us to organize what is best in us, to have a safe place for our families, to have a safe place for our children, a place where we can organize the ideas that promote the best kind of humanity, right? The draconian laws of public safety in our country were introduced by the government. Republic. Well, I don't get into this. Uh, the only law I recognize is how should you be loving the other person, right? I think that is the best law, right? And you know, the understanding of love. Sometimes people treat this idea of love like, let's take for instance the turning of the other cheek. I'm not loving you if you're abusing me and I turn my other cheek and let you continue to abuse me. That is not love. Sometimes loving somebody is not allowing them to continue their bullshit. Sometimes loving someone is telling them to fuck off, right? It's not casting your pearls to the swine. Love is a capacity that we don't all share, uh, even though it's rooted in our nature. We have not arrived at its plenitude or fullness. And, you know, so this idea that of turning the other cheek, you have to have the capacity, and it has to have a purpose in order for it to really love the person. Like letting someone come into your home and hurt your family and you watching and saying, well, I love you. It's not love. You're being a coward, right? You're not loving the other person because you're not making a stand. The idea of turning the other cheek is trying to defeat the evil in you. But first, you must have the capacity to defeat evil. For me to turn the other cheek means I have other options. I can destroy you if I wanted to. So, out of these other options, I'm choosing the greatest one that will ultimately lead to your healing, right? Now, that might not make sense to people, right? Sometimes people who aren't nice are really the nice people, right? Godfather. I am the Godfather now. I'll send you an $8 gift. Will you stay an extra 30 minutes? I will stay. My phone only will allow me 3 hours. Now, 2 hours is the standard for the bot. Uh, the super chat is there for the extra hour. So that is what it is. When I get to the super chat goal, I will certainly stay an extra hour. That is something that has been helpful to me. Um, in doing what I do here. It's all optional. If you think I'm worthy of that extra hour, then feel free to, if you are able to, right? Spiritual entertainment, my friends, 7 days a week. I am here for your entertainment leisure. You hear the birds chirping. Now, you probably can't see the sunlight yet, but it's just touching the horizon there. You could see the little bit of, thank you, Kim. I appreciate you. Look at that. Oh, my goodness. We're almost at our goal, my friends. We're almost at the goal of me staying here another hour with you today. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't it wonderful? Spiritual entertainment, 7 days a week. I make all kinds of videos, animals, nature, spirituality, comedy, video games, all kinds of fun we have here. Got to be aware of my surroundings. When you hear stuff moving around in the bush, that means you might be lunch. So I have to be careful out here. What am I drinking? Sparkling ice, my friend. The drink of bards everywhere, right? Devil does not exist, is suffering of the mind. Don't suffer, agios osatanias. I don't know any of that bullshit right there. Suffering is a very real thing. It is not an illusion. It's something we certainly experience. And sometimes suffering is a healthy thing, like if someone dies. You're going to suffer because you love them. That's a healthy thing because you're honoring their memory. Sometimes we suffer at the hands of other people unjustly. That is not a good thing, right? That is a terrible thing. But with any type of suffering, you can turn the power of that suffering around into something well. We did it, my friends. We have achieved the goal already. Look at that. Thank you, my friends. I appreciate you. We are now going to be here another hour. All right. Look at that. That's beautiful. Thank you so much, my friends. My next super chat call, I will disrobe for you. If I get 20 $100 super chats, I will disrobe here for you live. Right. That will be the next one. Right. Thank you so much to my community here for wanting me to be here another hour today, until my battery gets to 10%. I'm at 80%. So every 30 minutes, I would say would be 10%. So we should have plenty of time, hopefully, right? And if not, I will certainly make it up to you. If I don't, thank you very much, my friends. I appreciate you. Chum Dog Billionaire, thank you for coming in and liking the stream, friend. I appreciate you. What's going on with sins here? Is someone a sinner today? You need some healing, the healing of the bard. Sin to me is just a terrible, terrible concept that is not based in reality. It is a creation used to control our behavior. Most religions are about behavioral modification, but for whom? Right? They say because you're going to make angry the deity, but they cannot prove any of this. Now, if I am a deity and I'm getting mad with you, I have an obligation to tell you about it. And no one else is supposed to be doing my bullshit, right? The idea of revelation is a farce. It is a farce used to control you, right? Let's see. Don't disrespect, but please don't disrobe. I don't think it's going to happen, camera lady. We are not there yet in the charitable giving. You just a witch, right? You say, don't dishonor our sky-clad rituals by your elderly body. We don't want to see it. Good to have you here, our good friend. You are hiding? Oh, man. Blasphemy. Everyone wants to see me at some point. That's why I have an OnlyFans page, to entertain such desires for my community members, right? The sun is starting to come over the horizon even more. I wish you could see it, but there's too much mist. There's like you can't see it, unfortunately. I don't have the technology, like my phone camera here, to penetrate the fog here. It always affects the camera for whatever reason. Out in my sacred grove here today, my friends here, have a look around. This is this beautiful place here. Of all of these, most of these are laurel oak trees, native trees to the swamps of the southeast of the United States, right? Some people, you only have like one type of oak tree where you live, right? Uh, where I am, there's all kinds, right? There's all kinds of oak trees where I am. Let's see. In the name of Talos, you love Talos. Right? Don't suffer is the game of life. Be cold. Without suffering, without prediction, there is no life. Without death, there's no life. I mean, this is something we have to learn to accept, right? Now, it's not fun to suffer. It's not fun to die, but it's not. These are things that have purpose, right? Even the most terrible suffering that has been given unto you, an unjust suffering that you have not deserved, you can turn it into strength, right? You don't have to let it go to waste. You don't have to let it make you into a person who hides. You can build upon it. People that have been hurt by other people, I mean, there's all different ways you can look at it, where it's caused trauma for your experience. That is a moment for you to thrive. You know, look at all the warriors who have come out of great trauma. Right? You know, the trauma is not something that you wish upon anybody, but you know, if you've experienced trauma, uh, you wouldn't be who you are today, right? That has given you strength. It has given you power. And that is the mystery of life, right? Death gives us power. Death gives us creativity. Death allows us to see beyond all of these circumstances here. You know, seeking to die in a healthy way, learning to participate in this great mystery is a difficult journey, right? You hear all of these spiritual masters talking about dying, right? Um, Knight of Cipher, oh my good friend. It is good to. I thought you were upset with me because of our game got ruined. I am glad to see you. You probably have been busy. Thank you for giving the gift of membership to people here. Now, if you go to the community tabs, my friends, you can find a link to our Discord community where you could play games with. We're going to play Monopoly today or tomorrow, um, depending on the people. Probably at least 2 people I want to play with. No more than 6. No more than 6. We'll have to organize another game, right? And for people that want to play Dungeons and Dragons with me, I can't have more than 8. That is the max, right? Because the combat will be terrible, right? We're at 6. I have 5 players right now, and I got 2 players coming into the game. Yeah, so I have to be careful with that, right? And yeah, we have a good time. Thank you. Not all busy, been not entirely. I'm sorry to hear that, friend. Well, I'm glad that you've come here to share in the experience of the bard. I hope I make your life a little bit brighter, my friend. I hope you bring you some joy. There's the sun penetrating the trees right there. You see it? You only get that little beam there, that ray, the ray of light penetrating there. It looks like a heavenly gate there, all filled with light. There it is, my friends. You see it? You see the joy there? Yeah. Night of Cipher, as you probably heard, um, my game the save file got corrupted after the last update. I don't know what they did. When ELP and Blake came on, they were moving quite slow. Something was going on. My file was being corrupted. And the bad news is the zombies came and raided our place. Right? We could certainly start it up again in the future if you wanted to, or play other games as well. Like we're going to play Monopoly. I hope some of you can be there for that. What are we at here? But I'm glad that you're here with us. I was just concerned that perhaps maybe something happened. I'm glad to know that it wasn't me, because you are an important part of our community here, and I'm really grateful for you standing by my side all of this time that you've been with us. You're a great beacon within our community here. You're tired of maintaining this fire. You want to go to bed? Well, have a good night. I mean, what's preventing you? Let me see here. Are you talking about fire of the spirituality? What's going on? What type of fire? Fire in your pants? There's some type of arousal going on by watching me, and you're ready. It's like, I can't take it anymore. And when he told me he was going to disrobe, that was it, right? You started losing your all of your inhibitions. You were just let loose upon the stream here. Dr. Mantobakken, to have you here, my friend. You're sleeping outside. Sorry to hear that. I spent some time homeless when I was a teenager. It's a terrible experience, right? It's cold in the mountain. You were up in the mountains. Good to see you, Stinko Stalfils, Bill. Good to have you here, Bill. There it is. It's beautiful. You enjoy it. There it is. The sun is risen upon us here in the sacred grove. I wish I had the technology to see how much it affects the lighting here. It's beautiful. You've never been put off here. I love my time here. I appreciate you, my friend. I appreciate you sharing your life with us. Thank you for your presence and generosity and the good times that I have with you. I will always treasure them. No, we don't like Aleister Crowley here. And I don't like the fact that people that get involved in the New Age or the occult, they treat him as some type of hero when he abused people and animals. So I don't support the Crowley, right? Crowley was a bad person. Yeah, he was not good, right? Good to see you, 053, the kid. Good to have you here. Wasn't he just a crazy person? Well, he certainly had experiences, but his drive for power, when you are driven by power, when you are driven by something, you stop seeing people. You stop seeing the world around you as something that offers value to you. And sometimes I mean, I could have been Aleister Crowley. I mean, we all could have been, right? I got involved in the occult when I was a teenager. And I talked a little bit about it yesterday. And I wanted to use power to control and destroy. And, there's a cost to doing that, right? If you think it's just a psychological experience, then even in that experience, um, it destroys you as a person, right? He was a good guy. I don't think so. You might have the worst camera quality of anyone on the whole planet, probably. Oh, in the future, when I get more of a following on here, when I can make a qualified income that is foundational, I certainly will get a studio and a better technology. This is the best I can do right now. This is the best I can do. I'm here so I don't lose my mentality. Well, I'm glad that I bring stability to you. Sometimes you have to go to mad men in order to find peace. And I certainly have lost my mind quite a few times in my life. And it's good to be able to encourage other people that you're going to be okay, right? These moments when we just lose ourselves in our madness. But you can always come back, right? You can always come back. It sickens you, chum dog billionaire. Yeah. Yep. It's disgusting, isn't it? Yeah. We don't want to get you started here, right? Right? Yeah. Him as a person, he needed help inside. He was hurting. Right? These people who have harmed other human beings and animals, they can be redeemed. They can be healed, right? This tragedy that they have done, people that have done terrible things look back in their life, say, I wish I didn't do that, right? So it's not like he could not be redeemed, but what he did is nothing to honor, right? His works that are based on the foundation of harming other human beings and animals is not something to be commended. Whenever I hear people quote about spirituality, it doesn't matter to me, right? It doesn't matter to me. You kill it, eat it. That's good. That's good philosophy. And you like Anton LaVey? I'm not. I don't know much about him. You are a perpetual basket case. Yeah, it's fun losing. It's like everything in the madness you does all of the work for you. The despair, the loss of hope, the fear, does all of the work for you, where you could just stay with it. It's something you can trust. It's something you can rely on, right? If you're honest about it, right? You don't have to do anything. You just let it do all the work. Let anxiety control you, right? It will, right? As long as it doesn't have to leave, right? It takes great courage to know I'm going to run the show here. I'm not going to let these experiences determine my path. As a madman, I'm going to choose stability. I'm going to choose to use my experiences in a healthy way for my lifestyle, right? I've lost my mind several times, and I still probably have, it's lost out there. But I'm walking forward. I'm walking ahead. I'm not letting my difficulty determine my fate. Or the things that have gone on, tell you you cannot achieve greatness. Your essence is one of an achiever. Your essence is designed for perfection. Your essence is designed for beauty. You are a being of beauty. You create beauty because that is what you come from, right? You are worthy, you have value, you have purpose. But with that value and purpose, you are the custodian. You have to choose to believe that about yourself, right? Now, think about this for a moment. Now, some of you are not religious, right? My religion, reality, my deity tells me that I have value. I still have the responsibility to accept that. Now, uh, for a moment, why not take the risk, take the chance, and operate with this mentality without any deity influencing you? I choose to believe I am worthy. I choose to believe I am loved. I choose to believe I have value, and start living that way. You don't have to be religious to do this, right? Religion helps me to understand that about myself, but ultimately it's still my choice without my deity telling me I'm important. I have to make the decision. Now, if you don't have religion, you are an atheist, you have to do that difficult work. The idea of humanity is rooted in worthiness. We have a right to be here. We have a right to thrive. We have value, right? Dwell in that reality. Practice this idea of worthiness. Practice this idea of having this ultimate value, right? It takes practice because there will always be something that will tell you you're not worthy. You are responsible how you respond to that, right? There will always be that will say, respond to it, right? Someone was talking the other day about this, like in terms of hearing voices. What do you do with the voices that tell you to destroy yourself, right? They're there every day. We tell that voice to fuck off, and you keep doing it. That's how you become strong. Use that voice to become great, rather than let the voice tell you what to do, right? I am a wizard in the evenings, yes. Humanity, love everyone, yeah. Well, the context of love is very important, right? You choose to believe that we have value, and I treat those around me as if they are importance, right? That's very important, right? For growth and stability. Um, a lot of our world doesn't see the value of the human person. They are not taught to see it. What they are taught to see is what you do, what you look like, how much money you have. That gives you value, right? And a lot of people, they operate with this mentality. It's like the automatons. They'll enter a social group. Look at my pants. Look at the size of my penis. Look at my breasts, right? In order for you first to listen to them as a person. I mean, this is all. Look at all the YouTube channels with people who are spiritual, putting their, most of you, if you're honest, I want to talk to you about witchcraft today. You're looking at their boobs, right? They put their boobs or they'll do something to attract you to this illusion of I am valuable with my big boobies, right, that I put up on the screen. Some of you know what I'm talking about. What's unfortunate is like 80%, I think, of the spirituality on YouTube given by females. It begins with their breasts, right? Talk to because I have a big breasts, right? This is the type of world we live in. That the value of the person is it must be achieved through this illusion that we create, right? Um, are you LARPing? No, I do that in the evening. Yeah. Oh my, spiritual entertainment. 7 days later on today or tomorrow. Well, both days I'm going to be playing games. Tonight, my wife's got a lot of stuff to do this weekend. So either today or tomorrow we're going to do Monopoly. Eventually, something else as well, right? Spirituality today is very shallow. It is, right? Yeah, it begins in material rather than rooted in humanity, right? You know, you have something to offer when blind people listen to you, right? There's no illusions for the blind man or a lady, and they click on your channel, they start listening. That's how the conversation begins, right? I remember when I was younger, I had all of these things that I would use to try to achieve companionship, right? Long flowing hair, cool clothing, giant penis. I mean, you could come out all kinds of things. Yeah, I remember when I started becoming a Christian, I'm trying to follow these values. I began to try to operate by, and I found it was a lonely path because no one was interested in me, right? Because most people, they care about you, right? And I'm just as guilty, right? I'm just as guilty. Most of my life, all of these religious friendships were illusions. They weren't real. Uh, I have any, I have probably maybe a few people under 5 that are, that I could call friends, right? That I do not, you people are all my friends, but not in the same context because we have this in the way here. We don't eat dinner together. We don't have a glass of wine together. There's a different type of friendship here with some of the people in my community because you could just walk away. Now, if you live next door to me, you couldn't walk away, right? So there's a different context there, right? Crawley was a great spiritual. You don't give a shit. Yeah. The goblins are here. Oh my, the goblins are here. Our good friends, the goblins. Good to have you here. You are new here. What's happening? Welcome to my grove. This is what's happening. This here is my sacred grove, my friends. This is the place where I come to experience the mystery, where I come to be renewed, where I come to be refreshed. This is my sacred grove. Welcome to a Druid's grove. Live streaming from a Druid's grove today. This is a sacred place in a sacred area that nobody knows about, unless you walk by the path here. There are people who walk the path away here. I'm very blessed to have this place. This place has been a great teacher, right? It's been there's good energy here that helps me to recollect, to fresh, to feel renewed. It is a mother to me. I am new. I am old. Let's say it was an opponent to the spiritual, because spirituality to me begins in our humanity. It begins in community, right? It does not begin on my trips in its full context, right? The grove is gorgeous this morning. Thank you, my friend. Thank you for being a part of this sacred place that I share with people weekly. Weekly, I try to come out here and to stream with you. One of the most important things you can do is to learn that the world around you is speaking to you, and to find a place where you can hear that voice. We are spirituality, right? What we do is spiritual, but in the context of this spiritual life that we live, there's a need for intimacy, right? I don't get together with my wife and her boyfriend out in public, do things. There's a place for that, right? An intimate place that we have to go, right? Paul, nice to see you. Our friend, good to have you here. Do I recognize the prophet of Muhammad? No, I don't. Anything of the Abrahamic religions to me is terrible, right? You like it here, Kim? Yeah, yeah. You think about this idea of beauty. Where does it begin? Some of you say, this is a beautiful place. Well, where does it begin? It begins in you. Creating your own beauty inside is important in order to really appreciate what you have out here, right? When you recognize the beauty that's within you, when you create the sacred grove within you, the whole world begins to become a grove. And in this experience of the world, there's always these special places, right? And this is my special place that I'm certainly sharing with you. Oh, where are we at here? Oh, the mushrooms. Good to have our good friend Paul here. Spiritual Sunday with friends. Don't forget to hit the like button as you come in. I'm going to be out here another 2 hours and 10 minutes because of the great contributions of our community here. 2 hours and 10 minutes with you, talking to you about spirituality, whatever you want to talk about, the beauty of nature, animals, whatever you want to talk about. You can hear the birds are having a good time here, right? That's spirituality. Do you think those birds chirp endlessly for no purpose? They want to be heard by you. They want to share themselves with you. The left-hand path term as an excuse to be a fool. Um, the idea of a fool to me, it only becomes a negative when, see, I am the fool. I am the one that goes off the cliff with the little doggy and the tarot card, hoping that God will catch me, right? When I see in the horizon something wonderful, I go for it. I don't wait around. You only have one life to live. That's the philosophy of the fool. And if opportunity enters your vision, if you wait, you become a loser sometimes, right? But sometimes when you pursue that opportunity, you'll fall flat on your face. But the fool always gets up again and begins the journey once more, right? It becomes a learning experience, right? So to me, I am the fool. I am the one in the tarot card willing to go off the cliff because you only got one shot at this, my friends. If there's something in your life, what do you got to lose, right? What do you have to lose when opportunity is seen in your vision, right? What do you have to lose? You might fail, but ultimately, there's no ultimate failure. There's success always waiting for you in your spiritual endeavors, right? I'm still trying to enjoy being outside in nature. Do you see the planets align? Uh, I did not see the planets align, but there's been a lot of alignments this week, right? We had the Leo's portal last weekend, and we talked about that. Um, do I partake of the reefer? Of course I do, every night. It helps me to sleep. Delta 8 and Delta 9 I use. The left-hand path is learning experience. You're right. Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, there's not, we create many religions, but religion is our creativity. There's only one religion. There's only one humanity, right? That's what William Blake taught us, right? Um, because in terms of religious experience, the experience is there. We're just using our creativity to understand. And sometimes our creativity is not the best. But God, the divinity, whatever you want to call it, it is pursuing you. It is seeking you out. Your religion is your response to what's already here and all around you in whatever capacity. Yeah. You smoke weed every day. That is your mantra. Yeah. I the use of cannabis to me is for me is a medical thing, right? Now, when I was younger, I smoked cannabis from between the ages of 17 and 19, and I was brain dead. Um, when I would talk to people, I would forget what the hell I'm saying. I was abusing the substance. I don't have a problem with people using drugs recreationally like that. Marijuana's not any different to me than having a glass of wine. Uh, but this idea of smoking weed every day outside of a medical context, it's going to cause you not to see the world the way you should. right? I use substances all the time because I'm disabled, but I try to have a period in this usage where I can walk away and spend some time in reality, because reality offers you the best highs because you're using all of your senses now to experience what is here with you, right? Your senses are meant for you to get high with. And there's no greater high than meeting the fullness of life on its own terms, right? I don't have a problem with whatever you're doing. I don't care. I am an entertainer, but I'm just sharing my experience in terms of substances. Steely Dan is a great Lord. Yeah, he certainly is for a lot of people, right? Um, THC, not, well, yeah. I used cannabis when I had Hodgkin's lymphoma, yeah, because the oncologist told me it was good for me. Yeah, I had a friend who died of cancer, and cannabis was the best thing, but we had to sneak it into the hospital. This was back in the 90s. We had to bring her out and smoke reefers with her because the THC pills were terrible. Government weed is terrible, in my opinion. It's too powerful. And now we have these cannabis shops now that a lot of it medical is available with all different varieties of cannabis that can use for all different ailments. Now, some with not a lot of the psychedelic stuff that causes you anxiety, but some for just pain, some that will keep you alert. They even have weed to give you a boner. I mean, they got all kinds of flavors at the hemp shop, right? Um, Alex, I don't even know who that is. Sanders Witchcraft. I'm not an expert at witchcraft. I don't practice witchcraft. I practice druidry, and I do so as a philosophy rather than as a religion. MLs ever become relevant in world soccer? I don't know much about football, my friend. Uh, the my sports field is my grove. I mean, it's the size of a football field. But this is the place where, and also YouTube is really an arena for me, sportsmanship of conversation, because you get all types of people on here. Some quite terrible, some wonderful, and you have to learn how to talk to people. If you're going to do a live stream, you have to learn to engage. You have to learn the mentalities. Some of you, our friend Blake here is going to be doing live streams soon, and a lot of different mentalities will try to manipulate you. THC hijacked your nervous system and gave you intense anxiety instead of relaxation. Yeah, some of it's terrible, right? But they do have certain THCs that take out that element that causes, the anxiety. You misheard that as elves become relevant. I don't know what the hell that shit is. Get to the chopper. What is the chopper? What's going on with the chopper? You ever show how you use runes? I have done rune readings on the show here for community members. I'm not an expert at it. I use it for myself. Now, if you're part of our Discord community, we have wonderful diviners on there that do tarot and oracle cards. I thought about doing that. I've done it for other people, but I use it mainly just for myself. I've learned that it's a personal thing for me. I certainly can do it for other people if they want me to, but I usually just do it for myself and my family members. Reading of the runes. Let's see here. Carlo is here. Good to see you. This is fake AI. You think so? Look here. You see this? You see that? That is not an AI. And even if it was, who gives a shit, right? Even if this is all AI generated, you're using it to be on here. You love how these people, it's always convenient to them to go on a service that uses AI to say that you're bad for using AI. These people, I call it selective outrage. They're using AI all the time, but then it's usually in the context of art or something. Most of the people, artists that complain about AI using art, because no one wants their shit anyways, right? Now, I have people always complaining about AI replacing art. AI is not doing that. You can't replace human creativity. AI enhances human creativity. And usually, these assholes that complain about, well, I have boxes of art from local art creators. And where are your boxes? If you are for the artists now, where are your boxes of art? Where are the art? How are you supporting your local art dealers? And these people aren't. What they're doing is they're using this selective outrage to try to find community and personal sense of righteousness. It gives them a sense of value, which is false, right? They always come up with these things. AI does this. Artists. Thank you, Marcus. Thank you. Welcome to our community, my friend. If you are a new community member, go to the members only tab, and you can join us on Discord, right? Yeah, I use AI to enhance my art. It's been a very helpful tool. Um, I, I don't have a lot of fun. I don't get a lot of value out of long-term use in terms of AI art. I think a lot of it is terrible. Usually just having fun with it, really. Um, like I use it in my D&D games to make an image of the dungeon, what it looks like. What this dungeon looks like. I'll just print out something from the AI, right? Stuff like that. It's been a helpful tool for my creativity. And these people, I mean, it's really sad. A lot of them, uh, especially young people, they get suckered into these, you're going to be righteous, we'll make us stand. But it's all built on a false reality, right? You know, they'll say like AI uses too many resources. What are you doing in your living room? Do you have an Xbox, do you, and a headset? You're using more resources than my kitchen sink, right? It's selective outrage that gives people a sense of righteousness, right? And there's people making a lot of money on it, right? They're drawing lots of crowds to themselves through this selective outrage. It's all an illusion. AI is here to stay. It's not going anywhere. It certainly needs guidance, but being a bitch about it doesn't help anyone, right? Um, the false reality is, yes, right. You have an ass hat. How does it feel when you have an ass on your head? Do you enjoy it? You like a good ass on your head? Um, Spiritual Enter Zeg is here. Our good friends. He's got some crazy shit on his channel. I watched a gentleman put a diaper on his head. I mean, really, really hilarious mockeries of modern YouTubes, including myself on there. Great way portrayal of the mentality of the modern YouTubers are on there, on his channel. Real funny stuff. Yeah. What is an illusion? Illusion is something that creates a false form of human existence for you. It allows you to draw meaning from a reality that is created that really doesn't benefit you in the long run. It gives you a false sense where you're able to develop a feeling of importance or a feeling of community. I mean, the word illusion has many contexts to it, right? But a lot of like growing up and being involved in a lot of movements, right? I talked about the other day. I was a socialist when I was like in my my early college years because I wanted to get laid, basically, right? Uh, I put on this face because it gave me a feeling of purpose. And I don't care if you're a socialist. I'm just saying my experience of it. I didn't really care about socialism. I was using it to get this identity. It was an illusion in order to relate to you. It was a mask I had to put on in order to be a part of the conversation. And you begin over the years to see it's an illusion because that's all people talk about now. There's not. If you were to take away, for instance, a lot of people's politics today, if you just yanked that out of their human experience, what would be there? Right? The same thing with people's religions. You yank out all of the dogmas and ideologies, what is left of the person? Nothing. They have nothing to offer the world because they're living in an illusion, right? And I've been there. I've lived all kinds of illusion. I still don't care about socialism. You are 40? Yeah. It's hard to have time, right? When you're older, you have a family. My Xbox tag, my Steam tag, Epic, and all my other tags are Knight of Cypher. They are. Yeah, I got most of them. I'm united to, right? The main problem you heard about AI music industry is you can provide it with clips of music playing and prompt it to sound. Yeah, that's a problem, right? That is a problem. Is hijacking this experience of others, right? And the more and more safeguards, like YouTube. If you are a content creator, they have a section now where you could put your identity into it, your voice and face. And if that is used, like Zerg here makes shit of me up all the time, he would now have to have permission, right? There's all of these safeguards that we're creating to stop this problem that we do. There's lots of problems with AI, right? People can make pictures of me with, a penis in my hand, right? That looks just like me, and say, look at him, he's got his penis in it. I'm like, well, yeah, it's a little bit bigger than that, but we'll go with it, right? We have to get on this ship and use our guidance. There's a lot of things out of control in our life that are worse than AI, really. Like the food we eat. I mean, it's poisoning us, right? I mean, there's all kinds of other things that we probably should be talking about. Like basic courtesy is gone in the world, right? Like if I didn't like what you're doing, right, and you belong to my community, and it bothered me, uh, rather than starting a campaign online against you, it might be a good idea to talk to you about my problems and see if we can work them out. That's not what people do, right? They'll get on your Discord channel and they'll start talking bad about you. For instance, we had this guy on the other day that some of you know who I'm talking about. We were talking about Burt Reynolds the other day about being a wonderful gay icon. And the next day, a person with Burt Reynolds came up. The algorithm was... So we started talking about how hilarious this is. Now, this person was not interested in what they were doing here, right? They wanted to draw all the attention to themselves. They whatever, it could have been anything. And they began to draw everyone to themselves into negativity and to create a for or against atmosphere. They weren't interested in me as a person. They weren't interested in other people. And they went to other people in my community to try to guilt shame them, right? To manipulate them into their side. And I've played this game of bullshit on here for so long, it's easy to spot the gaslighters, right? That shit doesn't work with me. And if I see this person on here, I'm going to ban them and tell them to fuck off because they don't care about people. They only care about their terrible, terrible narcissism and demanding allegiance, right? Demanding. Now, I'm an adult. If I don't like your YouTube channel, I will leave it. If I am, adults, if you're hurting me on your channel, I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to go around trying to gather an army to bitch, right? But that's what we're dealing with in our modern day. And it's sad when people get involved with these things. Some people have their hearts on their sleeves, right? They want to be good people. And then you get these people gaslighting you, feeling like you have to join their side or you're going to terrible. I mean, I'm old enough to know someone's bullshit. And I hope none of my community members fall for it when it happens on here, right? I'm sure some of you have experienced it already. Yeah. Burt Reynolds was, I don't think he was gay, but he certainly was a wonderful, attractive man. He was a wonderful gay icon to me, at least. Yeah. George Washington was gay, you think so? So that legend of him chopping the cherry tree down, that's homosexual innuendo, is what you're saying. It's like he told the truth, right? He came out of the closet swinging his axe at a cherry tree. It's like cutting down the femininity. I don't want women. I want the Bach only. Uh, you could use a hug here, virtual hug for you. Um, there you go. Yep. Spiritual entertainment, my friends. 7 days a week. Good to have you here, Ara. Consider yourself hugged. There you are. When you say cherry tree, I jumped into my chemo. You see, it's all in there. All the homosexual foundations, right? He was chopping, meaning he was polishing his chair. Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah. Spiritual entertainment, my friends. Don't forget, like button at the top of your screen. I'm going to be here another 2 hours, my friends, or until my battery drains. We'll see where I'm. Yeah. I'm at 55%. So if I'm not able to stay, I will certainly make it up for you when I'm able to have a plug-in. I'm out in the wilderness. I have no way to plug my phone in out here, right? Yeah, we do this every day. Later on today, we're going to be playing some games with some community members, or tomorrow, one or the other. Something will happen for a few hours, right? We play games together, like Warhammer or Dungeons and Dragons. We played 7 Days to Die together. All kinds of fun things that we do. We're going to be playing Monopoly. We have a good time, right? And we're all different, but we have common courtesy for one another. Very important thing. I wish I would have learned that when I was a younger person. I mean, it took me a long time to learn to show other human beings that I don't need anything from you, really, right? That I just want to share my experience with you. Now, I do this for a living, so I do need you to like and subscribe, right? That is the only caveat here. But outside of that, I am here for my community. If you want to build relationship with me, I am here. I have put myself out there for all of you. Which one is Tron Street? Right over here. Let me show you. There it is. You see that little tree right there? This is Tron's tree. Tron was a wonderful member of the program here. A very joyous and wonderful individual, and he's been gone now a little over about 2 months, about a month and a half, something like that. That tree right there, that small tree, that is Tron's tree. See, that's community. Tron is always going to be a part of my life. Now, Tron was with us about a year, and he was always positive. And we would have conversations. His mother and his sister would talk to me about how I helped Tron in these difficult times, at the end of his life, right? So this is one of the ways I've honored him as a community member, is dedicating this tree to our good friend Tron. Yeah, may his memory be eternal. So every time I come here, there he is. There's Tron. He is here in my grove. Hopefully none of you will die anytime soon, but if you did, I would give you a tree as well. Your memory remains with me. I take my community members with me where I go. Meditations, right? He was a great guide indeed, yes. Something that the mask can't hide, yeah. What happened to he had a heart attack, and later on he died, right? He had a battle with diabetes and other issues as well. And sometimes people don't make it, right, through our unfortunate illnesses that come upon us, right? Save a tree. Don't die, Dr. Mantis. Don't die. Eventually, all these trees, right? I'm going to be here for 25 years or more, right? So eventually, I hope that we have a lot of old people that watch. Hopefully, you don't die. But if you do, I will make a tree for you, right? As long as one of your relatives gets in touch with me. We had that tree dedication moment for our friend Tron, right? Because of his sister reaching out to me and his mother. We are forever. Jonathan is never anything but alive. We keep his memory with us, right? Yeah, Jonathan was his real name. Yeah. They don't have thumbs down on this. Yeah, we don't cater to, YouTube doesn't cater to dicks anymore, right? They've got rid of the thumbs down, which is, I think it's, if you don't like something, then leave, right? I mean, thumbs down is a childish school child tactic, right? Originally, YouTube put it up there to let us know how we can improve our content, as to say, but it just became a tool of dictum, really, than anything else. They're trying to stay optimistic, but really is something I need to prepare for and consider. Certainly, right? You prepare by being optimistic, by living, right? That's how you prepare. I mean, some of us have severe health issues, right? And that reality is more and more apparent every day. I mean, I'm halfway dead now, right? 50 years old, and death could be right around the corner, right? But I do my best to live in hope every day, trying to celebrate goodness and value, letting the experience of death be something that helps my creativity. Some people, some spiritualities, they enslave themselves to death, right? For example, when I was a Christian, I've studied a lot of the church fathers, monastics and things. And one of their practices was, meditating upon dying. Think about this could be your last day. They were doing so in a dishonest way, because it had to do with make sure you're behaving. Now, if I'm only behaving a certain way because I know that I'm going to die, then I'm really not being a genuine person, right? If I'm letting this moment guide me in how to not sin against the God, right? That is not a genuine way of living, right? That is an inappropriate, death-based ideology, right? Just a heads up, you have exposed. I reject your curse in the name of Geradwin. You will have the diarrhea, not me. Uno reverse card to your curse there. Nothing works upon me. I am protected. I am strong. The things you say will not prosper. In the name of the Emperor of all mankind. That's what the archetype of like a Prometheus, Lucifer, Jesus was teaching how to escape the dogmatic teachings. Yeah, that's certainly a philosophy that a lot of people, that's always been a problem for us, right? Throughout humanity is the control factor, right? When you are controlled, you are no longer creative. And so you have archetypes like Prometheus and Lucifer and others as a way to rebel against this control, right? Let's see here. Our good friend Natalie here. You feel a little called out. I truly believe that love is the only answer. I'm going to have to take some and think about this. Banning a person because I shared something. No, I'm banning a person because they manipulated people in my community. I'm not calling you out. I was sharing with my feelings in general about this. This has happened before, and we've gone through this before with someone in the community, taking advantage of the good nature of others and manipulating them, gaslighting them. We don't cast our pearls to the swine. Is a wonderful philosophy, and people that they think that you're loving them. You're not loving them when you're allowing them to take you to this place where you feel obligated to take their side because they've made you feel shameful. Right? It is a terrible thing when people take advantage of our goodness, and I will certainly ban that person. They are a manipulator. It was very apparent by the conversation, which eventually got them banned during the conversation. And if I see that person again on here, I'm going to ask them, why are you here if this is a harmful place? I know why you're here, because you're trying to make it about you. That is why you're here. So that person is not welcome here. I hope they don't come back, because I will certainly ban them permanently. I don't know if that was in effect, whatever moderator banned them before, but they certainly aren't welcome here. And I'm sorry that you feel that way, Natalie. There was a longer context in this conversation that I didn't say anybody's names. in the community, because you're not the only one that has these conversations with people. And this isn't the first time this has happened with people who like to gaslight and manipulate, right? Um, let's see here. It's especially hard when you can't even express your pain, just a numb. Sometimes one of the problems we have, good to see you. Our good friend, the bearded lady Jenny, is here. Good to have you here for your entertainment leisure. Look at, I'm a little bit behind here. One of this, what you were saying there, people have we have a difficult time listening, right? We have a difficult time hearing. We want to give everyone advice, especially for a man, right? This is something that we difficult that we do. Yes, we love you too, Natalie. We love you too, and I hope there's no animosity in the things that I share. I will apologize if I've caused offense to you, because you are important to me. I don't mind sharing my opinions, and I could be certainly wrong, right? Um, it's easy to give advice. It is much harder to share the pain of the person, right? It is easy to give the advice. I know that, like as a father, especially my daughters, when they're having trouble, they just want to talk about it. They don't want my advice about it. I mean, they just want to talk about it. They want to share. They want the encouragement, right? Some people, you'll never understand their pain, right? And no matter what you say, it will not help them. Now, the book of Job, for instance, it's poetry to me, but it reveals this problem that we have with someone who is suffering, right? He was going through this extreme suffering. And what did we do? We kept telling him, it's your fault. It's God's fault. It's someone else's fault, right? You have this, problem that we have when people suffer. One of the things I learned as a clergyman is, sometimes when you're with that person in the hospital dying, the best thing you can do is just be there with them, right? And listen, to hold their hand. One of the most terrible things I have encountered from other clergymen is they'll try to answer why they're suffering. Like God is trying to teach a lesson, or some shit like that. I mean, that doesn't help. Your child is dying of cancer. Well, God allows this to bring us together again. I mean, that is the most terrible thing you could say to somebody, is that God is responsible for this, right? That God allows this. Why would God allow people to get violated? I mean, I reject the idea that God is in control. Oh, no offense, your wisdom is appreciated. You don't take any bullshit. I just don't want to leave someone in the storm. Yeah, you might be right. You might be right. But in my experience of having these conversations, I see things in a certain point of view. But you might be very well right. You might be the better person in this context. Your favorite fish? Oh, shit. Rabbits sits and keeps us company, certainly, right? We have these experiences, right? All of us. And as I was saying, when I was a Christian, I began to reject the theology of God being in control, and began to seeing divinity as something not distant from the operation of the universe. Understanding that the laws of physics are there because that's part of the spirituality. This is part of the divinity. And when it comes to physics, there is no future, right? And to see that this experience is a shared experience with divinity in terms of the creativity of the universe, where God is not in control, right? And that took great courage for me to step back to say, there's no way that he's in control of the pain that I suffered as a child. There's no answer to it. It was a terrible thing that I experienced as a child. he is not, or she, whatever you want to call divinity, was not responsible. There's no way that God can be in control. There's no way. Um, and I think that makes God even more powerful. The idea that God can be what God is and yet not have to know everything, right? We've created this deity with our philosophy as the ultimate human dictator, right? And I reject that idea that God is in control. For me, God is creativity. And in that creativity, you don't know where the painting is going. You're just putting the brush, you're trying to work with the people, you're trying to work with the colors. And sometimes it can be very frustrating if you're an artist. You know what I'm talking about, right? But the goal is creativity. The goal is beauty. And sometimes you spill the paint, right? There's no way to know. There's no way to determine. But that's my personal philosophy that I developed when I was a Christian, trying to base this idea that there's no such thing some ultimate being in control of everything, because ultimately that would make the being terrible, right? Oh, look at that. Welcome, our good friend Patty Craig, to the community. Now you have, in the members only tab on my page, a way to be a part of our Discord community if you want to, right? I've gone full Gnostic. I reject Gnosticism. I reject Gnosticism. I think Gnosticism is a terrible philosophy. Gnosticism is the go-to for Christians that still want to have Jesus, but want to have some scriptures and things. So, there's some good ideas in Gnosticism. There certainly is wonderful ideas. But the idea that this is a prison is terrible. It's only a prison because we make it so, right? We are responsible, right? It must take air, our love, discipline, and restraint for the source to give us a choice, right? It's cooperation. That is the ultimate mystery. Cooperation means that the one who is organizing needs assistance for the ultimate end goal, chooses to have this experience, chooses to work with every element from the top down, the ultimate creativity, right? Think about it. It really would suck. Everything, all the future and past, all of our decisions, right, was already taken care of if fate was real, right? And that's not saying that there's not plans. I know my plans for you, says the Lord, plans to prosper you, to have you a great ending. And I believe in that, certainly. I'm a father. I have plans for children, right? But they need to cooperate, right? I want to pay for them to have the best schooling, but they have to go to the school, right? They have to do that. I'm trying to get my oldest son in college. I've left him alone. Our good oracle friend here, Natalie, had a very powerful oracle for me. If you like oracles and things, we have a reading section on our Discord channel, if you enjoy them. Yeah. The older we get, the more we realize how much life is crap. Maybe you do. I think life's wonderful. The older that I'm getting, the more beautiful my wife is, the more I enjoy my family, the more I appreciate the sun rising as behind me here, the more I appreciate things. That's what happens when you get older. For most people, right? Why do the gray hair people are people of wisdom? Because they're able to see the world as it is as you get older. That it's wonderful. It's not bad. It is a great thing, right? Our experiences are sometimes bad. Am I a pagan? No, I'm an entertainer. Right? And I practice Druidry. That is why I am in my grove today. I practice this wonderful philosophy that has given me purpose, that has given me insight, that has given me encouragement to be the best kind of person I can be. What do I think about ritual magic? It's wonderful. Now, I don't do ritual magic. That's part of your creativity. What makes it magic, the ritual or you, right? What does the gods need you to do the rituals and prayers, or is that for you? That's for you. It's your creativity. It helps you to work on this beautiful work of art that we're all doing together, right? I don't have any problem with ritual magic that's positive, that's healthy, that wants to be good. The magic of Druidry, for me, is one of cooperation of what is already here, right? The natural energies that are throughout the cosmos, right? Working with those natural energies. That's the only magic that I practice, right? I owned my first Labubu only a week ago. You have fallen into the sway of the dark side here. You know, the Christians tried to warn you about Labubu, but you didn't listen. You didn't listen. Yeah. Did you see that video made about it a couple of days ago? Of all of these Christians talking about various toys that are demonic. There's the He-Man, the Smurfs, and the Labubu, and the Pokemon characters. And then finally, Furby comes out. It's if you haven't seen it yet, you can find it in my shorts. It's called some type of, what is it called? Infernal Deception. Infernal Deception. You will enjoy it. Labubu is always in my heart as well. Yeah. It's probably why I left Christianity. I've got my son a Labubu doll. That's all that it took, right? I should have listened to them. It needed more humble than the world needs uplifting words. Yeah. Pokemon. Yeah. We have a Pokemon master in our Discord community. Yumi Luna Rose does the what is that called on your phone? The phone Pokemon. They go to those Pokemon gyms and things. They're a Pokemon master on our Discord channel. D&D is quite the scapegoat too for all of this diabolical talk, right? I mean, look at all the crazy people that come out of church, right? I mean, that's more diabolical than anything than a D&D game, right? I was always shameful of that too. I was a Christian. Like in my D&D games, I started wearing the wizard mask as a way for people to not know who I am. When I used to stream D&D on Twitch a long time ago, because I was afraid that people would find out that Christians, and I would get fired from my job as a clergyman, right? I was always going to confession about it. I was always shameful because I was taught that this is something that's taking me away from God, right? I just love the game, and there's nothing that separates me from God as I play the game. That was all an illusion that was given to me, right? You certainly can abuse things, right? And there's been plenty of times in my life where I've used video games as a way, to not do my responsibilities. Video game addiction is very real, right? I can't afford to be addicted now to games because it gets too painful for me after a while. Only a few hours I can do a day. This is too painful for my arthritis, right? So that's something that's helpful, I guess, right? Did you ever have a religious experience when you were clergy? Well, a religious experience has been going on all my life, right? The clergy reality just helped to try to put a face on it so I can share it with other people. The best clergy experience I had was last July when I was studying what the conversation happened with a fellow clergyman. One of his parishioners was the psychologist in his church was using cyber as a treatment for healing, and people were benefiting from this. And this has always been taboo. It's sorcery in the Bible to use psychedelics. It is a sin, right? And in the Christian community, so I engaged in the research to provide to him that this was a terrible thing, right? And I did all of the research with regular psychology, and I knew all the religious stuff already. So I wanted to see, and instead of what was happening, I'm like, maybe this is something I need, right? When I was researching all this stuff, because I had felt like I had been running in place, right? And that nothing was happening for me in terms of my human experience. I felt like I was stuck. right? And I couldn't figure out why. And so I had fasted, I prayed. Of course, I didn't tell any other clergymen what I was doing. I felt like the Bible says, test the spirits. And that's exactly what I was doing. I was doing this as a religious act, believing it was the right path for me to do, despite, what is written on the paper, right? I was willing to take the risk. I was willing to see if this was something for me. And I write about, or I didn't, I made a video about it called A Psychedelic Turning Point in my video section if you want to hear about it. But basically, I learned why I was running in place, because everything I was doing was not for other people. It was only for my own benefit. My religion was my vanity. Being a clergyman, I wasn't helping people, I was helping myself. And this was a terrible thing that I didn't realize I was doing. It was an illusion given to me in my early life about being successful. I mean, you go all the way back to my grandmother. I want you to be an astronaut. I want you to, pleasing grandma, right? Becoming that person in society and learning that I don't have much skills at all to be someone important. There's no way I could be an astronaut. But I was really good at religion, really good. So I dedicated my studies, went to all the universities and things, not because I wanted to help people, but because I wanted a social standing. And I didn't realize, that doesn't mean I didn't care about people. I didn't want to help people. But most of my motivation for my homilies was, hey, look at me. I'm a spiritual master, right? And it took great courage to see that I don't belong here. I need to leave this behind, right? And I did. I walked away from ministry. And I try to do it slowly, but events happened in my life. I didn't like, at some point I felt like I was a spy in a church where I didn't teach anything they believed in anymore, right? And it kind of felt inappropriate to continue. And I was only there for the people. I didn't want to hurt people's feelings. You don't want to hurt your parishioners' feelings, right? Even to this day, some of them think I still go to church, right? There's still people that think I'm still a Christian, So that was one element of why I walked away from ministry, because I was not there to help people. I was only there to help myself. The rabbits are great teachers. Labubu is king, always. Yeah. Hail the mighty Labubu. Going to be with you another 90 minutes out here, friends, or until my battery dies. I'm at 43%, so that's not good. I certainly will fulfill my obligation to you. If I'm not able to succeed at having 3 hours of streaming out here, which I did commit to. I will certainly fulfill that obligation at another time if my battery is dead, because of your kindness and generosity. Nobody cares about us in reality after the stream. We probably will never communicate again, and we'll never have interactions, but nobody really cares about anyone. That is an important truth that you don't have to live by. That is an observation of how most people operate, but you can choose not to operate by that. You can choose to love people. You can choose to give yourself to others. You have to be sometimes that person that sees the world differently, right? That's a terrible philosophy that you've inherited, right? See, we communicate on Discord daily. We do. You could be a part of our community. Now, we are developing a community which does have its limitations. As I said, I'm not eating dinner with you, right? We have these barriers of communication that don't allow us to thrive in authentic relationship. I mean, that takes a lot of time in an internet community. But we got a good start, right? We've been here for a year. The brainless one, our Slavic pagan friend, is here. Name the name, the rabbit sick, Gwynien. That is my Druid name, the rabbit in Welsh. Gwynien, however you want to throw it at me, right? The rabbit has been a great teacher and guide for me in my life. I feel like a rabbit, right? I love rabbits. Best group of people I've ever met. I am grateful for my growth. Yeah, I've been a lot of over the years playing video games, watching groups just fall apart, right? and trying to learn, what's going to keep a group together, right? Um, Genuine courtesy is a starting point, right? I don't agree, obviously, with everyone in the community, but we are a community. Uh, like me and Natalie disagreed on something today, but we're still a big deal. We disagreed, so what? Right? We're gonna. The world is not over. I don't receive my personhood whether you agree with me or not. I am very satisfied with who I am as a person, and I just want to offer you myself and build upon that. If you're interested, yeah. Um, Most love indeed, yeah. Variety is the spice of life. Yeah, diversity offers the complexity of our species and all of its diversity is ultimately for the health of the whole, right? Humanity is very diverse. Divinity is very diverse. The world you live in is filled with diversity. That is part of the art. That is part of the beauty. I have a gift, you have a gift, right? And together we have something beautiful that can create wonderful memories, right? Everyone has a favorite, yeah. Um, I will be your friend, fish, yeah. What uh, what Ren Fair is going down? I don't know. Is there one around? I'll certainly go with my cloak on. I fit right in, right? All right. I'll go barefoot to the Ren Fair. Just gotta watch the ant piles here in Florida. The fire ants are terrible. Here's the beauty of the sun. It is risen, my friends. The light and goodness of is here for you. It's finally has made its way over the tree line here, friends. Disagreements aren't something to fall apart over. They happen. They just do. We're all different ideas. Yeah, it takes a lot of courage uh, when you have a disagreement to contemplate that you could be wrong too. Right? That's very important. You might feel right, but you could be wrong. Right? That's very important for relationships, especially for marriages. When you are, I'm married for going on 20, 27 years in November, right? Um, I always get the numbers mixed up. My wife keeps track of all the numbers. I know I'm over 25 years. I don't even know how old I am. I mean, I don't even know how old my kids are anymore either. I got too many damn children. But, when you enter an argument or disagreement with someone close to you, is I could be wrong, right? To approach in that state of humility. Because if you don't, it's just going to be you talking, right? You're not listening to the other person. It's just you talking now. You are the right one. They are the wrong one, right? You draw a line in the sand and say, you are either for or against, right? Sometimes you have to make stands when something is evil, right? That there's harm being done, but not with ideas about experiences and events, right? This is what we experience a lot of religion and politics. The line is drawn. You are either on my side of the line or you're not, based on an idea. Our good friend Billy is here. Good to have you. Are you going to play Monopoly with us this weekend, Billy? You've been wanting to get a hold of the Monopoly as well, right? Billy's been here since the beginning of my journey of YouTube. Oh, call me out. Echo chambers are terrible and stagnant. I am here to grow. Yeah. I've one of the best members in our community that's challenged me and has helped me to grow is Gwendolyn, right? Um, Coming out of Christianity, I've had all these philosophies that are not always good. And our friend Gwendolyn has been a great teacher and patient, right? And courteous when I have said some things that have gone against diversity, right? Um, to be able to talk to me about it in a way that is rational, that is helpful for me to develop, right? And that's helped me because I have one of my children identifies as queer, right? I don't understand the queer stuff. I mean, Some days she's a man, sometimes she's a lady. I don't understand it. It's her journey, and I'm able to be by her side and love her. I don't know what the hell she's doing with her life, my daughter, but I love her, right? And I'm able to understand, all of this stuff with my daughter has been really helpful for me to understand these conversations that make people uncomfortable. Lots of conversations with diversity nowadays is highly political. It isn't. We're not having. I'm trying to understand you. Are you trying to understand me? No. You accept me or you don't. It's either. A lot of people, I think, you could win them to your side with, let me tell you about me, right? Where I'm coming from, right? Um, and that's helped me to see other people's experience. We're all on this journey, right? Basic courtesy, right? Um, Identity shouldn't be political, but it is. There are forces that take advantage of the experiences of people and use it as a way to create instability and battling and fighting, right? Um, and that is just what we see nowadays, right? And a lot of young people, they get swept up into this mindset of the crossing they become freedom fighters, right? They have a cause now. They're out. You are for me or against me, right? My daughter has had no opportunity to be against me, even though I don't always agree with what she's doing. The cicadas are here. The cicadas are here. The cicadas are here. You hear them? Yeah. Uh, we are what we are. That's right. The forces that control me are making me worship goth women. Yeah, that's understandable. That's understandable, right? Um, Growing up, wanted to be a man. Lasted into my late 20s. Sometimes it just takes longer to grow into your. Yeah, a lot of young people are very uncomfortable with their bodies. There is such thing as body dysphoria, right? And it's very common, especially for ladies, to hate themselves, right? Um, in order to be affirmed by others, right? You have to fit in a certain category. You have to have the right clothes, the right makeup, and stuff. And it's hard to live up to that. And a lot of it, there's sometimes a rebellion or a rejection of that, where you go into the other category. Like when I was younger, you had, for instance, in the 80s, you had you basically three groups: the preps, the nerds, and the stoners. That was what I had to choose from. I mean, I went with I couldn't make the other groups, so even though I didn't like smoke or do drugs, I hung out with the people who accepted me. Right? I didn't have all the cool clothes at the time when I was, you know, growing up in the 80s and 90s. There was always a group out there that, well, come on, you can hang out with us, right? So I couldn't fit into these other groups, right? And that causes a lot of, for a lot of people, uh, when you don't have a friend, right, you feel terrible. You hate yourself. And there's nothing wrong with you. They're the problem. They're living in this false world. Um, and it can be a very lonely road for for people when you realize that all these people, I mean, the way they think about others is bullshit, right? It's bullshit. The punkers, yeah. Yeah, I was a skateboarder. I was a punker. You had this like umbrella for the burnouts. I mean, they're all in these categories, right? Uh, uh, Growing up in the 80s and stuff like that, right? You know, I tried to fit in with everybody, but not everyone accepts you, right? It's the mindset. Speaking the truth. I am glad I waited it out. Your daughter has a good dad. She'll get through it. Yeah. Yeah. I just wanted to love herself. And she's experimenting with, the things that are available to her, right? You know. And one of the things, a lot of people that struggle with their sexualities, right? Yeah, for young people, yeah, most of them, that where you feel it's not the contradiction in the family, right? Most people end up being gay, right? That is, trying to figure that out about yourself, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. Usually when you're an adult, you're like, yeah, I'm gay. That's what I was struggling with. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. Um, Self-love is a big part of it, right? Can you do you a favor? What do you want me to do? Take off my clothes, right? I can't do that on YouTube. That would be the end of my YouTube career. To engage, so I just joke around about it, right? So I can't disrobe for you here, right? Time is all we have. Yeah. Um, Please, you you want me to get naked, do you? Right? Some of you saw me change my shirt the other day. I'm sure a lot of people were quite aroused by that, right? You only got to see the side, right? All of my muscles and everything, my scrawny old man body, right? Because I had my shirt on backwards, right? It was quite embarrassing. And inside out, right? That was fun, right? Oh, where are we at here? Blasphemy, blasphemy all the time. I knew I was gay before I knew what it was. It was wild. You only had attraction to the same sex no matter what you tried, right? And you grow up in this environment where people telling you that's wrong, right? And most of still in society, we've got a lot better. It's just kind of like in India. There's no caste system, but there's a caste system still. So we still struggle with diversity, right? It's not something that has achieved. We've come a long way. We have come a long way, right? But there's still a lot of work to do in showing people basic courtesy. Um, you've missed me, Joey. Oh, are you one of my lovers? Did we meet on Grinder a few months ago or something? Lord of the Rings is the best. Yeah, you enjoy Lord of the Rings, do you? Yeah. Um, yeah, glad to see you thrive. Thank you, Joey. Don't forget, my friends, there's a like button at the top of your screen. Like and subscribe. I do this every day. We're going into my extra hour here that I promised, and I'm going to go as long as I can. I got 37. I have to go down. When I'm at 10% battery, then I have to make my way because I still have a journey out of here, and I could be mauled by a bear or something, so I'll need my phone. So when I'm at 10%, I'll make my journey out. And any deficit of that promise, I will make up on my next stream. Is Grinder in Dungeons and Dragons? We can make it up, right? We have a good time. I do a lot of joking around there. One of my players, he's a pervert. He's a druid that turns into animals just to have a good time. Now we don't show that, obviously. That's all for humor, right? Well, we do have a good time in D&D. Yeah. You have a 6-month membership. Look at you. Look at you. Thank you for all these wonderful people who have been committed here, right? Over the year's time, I've been doing this, and to see the same faces every day, it brings me so much joy, right? To see all of you people that return to have a conversation with me, right? When I first started doing this, my allergies are getting to me, so I have to go itch my nose off to the side. When I first started doing this, I would just have to talk to myself. I would talk, I would find a topic, and I would just keep talking about it, right? But it's nice to be able to talk to other people now, where I don't have to do all the work, right? Uh, I do lose my voice every now and then. I have to be careful because I do a lot of speaking, a lot of, especially in my Warhammer games where I start preaching, right? That really takes a toll on the larynx, right? Sing us one of your dwarven tablets. So, well, I have to be in the mood for that, right? Boasted about a gifted membership. That's how it begins. Yeah, the mods here are amazing. We appreciate all of the good things you share with us. The Cult of Steely Dan, presented by Grinder. Yeah, we hope everyone last Christmas, you got Steely Dan in your stocking. Yeah, gifted membership and complaining about the modding. Yeah, Please don't complain about my mods. They don't have to be here, and some of them come here every day, and I really appreciate. One day, my promise to my moderators is if I ever make it big, I will. All of you will come to Disney World with me. We're gonna have a. I will pay for your hotel, all of that. I will. You can bring whoever you want to bring, and we'll have a good time at Disney World. We'll do it like once a year or something. That's if I ever make it big. Yeah. Your grandmother's name is Bandova. Wow, that's a wonderful name for a grandmother. Yeah. Um, my stomach is wailing for breakfast. Daniel's always wailing. Yeah. The honesty of the mob don't have one of the dedicating their free time to support. Yeah, I appreciate all the goodness of the people here that have stood by my side. I look cute. Thank you. You want to hook up with me, right? What is today's plans? Uh, Gaming in some capacity later on today. If we can get a Monopoly game going, that would be fun. Either today or tomorrow, Monopoly is the plan in some capacity. If you like Monopoly, you want to be on with a Discord server. Now, I might, if not everyone has the same platform, I'm trying to find something that everyone can play in. If you don't have the system, you certainly can play because I can move your thing around the screen for, right? Um, so don't let that discourage you. If you don't have the monopoly, we just can't have more than 6 people, and we have to set a time limit, like no more than 3 hours, because you could play Monopoly for 8 hours, right? So we have to set a time limit on it. No more than 3 hours, and hopefully, uh, some people who enjoy Monopoly can join us, right? You uploaded in the gaming tab is cross-platform. It's 8 players also. Perfect. Yeah. Well, I'll give it. I will check it out. I know I have on my Game Pass a few Monopoly games. I have the 2024 edition, and there's another one I have. I'll have to look to see which one it is, but that would certainly be nice. If we can all play it together. On a timer, yeah. Well, you have to understand if you. I don't have all day to play Monopoly, especially if I've lost and I'm the game host. But what am I supposed to do, right? Um, um, you don't know why I constantly come here and stupid. I should change it up, and it's kind of getting boring. Well, if you don't like it here, you don't have to be here. Um, if it's boring to you, you don't have to be here. Um, I don't mind if you leave, right? That's your problem, right? I'm sorry you feel that way. I'm a bankrupt bard. Well, what do you mean by this? I don't understand. You just bought community membership? Is there a context I'm missing here? You need a Ubisoft account to link play cross-form. Yeah, I do. The 2020 edition is the right one. Okay, then I should be able to do that because I do have a Ubisoft account as well. Right, I got so it should be. We could also play Uno as well. Uno might be quicker. Yeah, there's all kinds of wonderful games that you have through Ubisoft, right? I'm pretty sure I have Uno as well. Let's see here. I was actually talking about myself. Okay, that makes sense. See, I don't always get the context of what people say on here. We should make a bar chat room and VR chat. No, no. Oh, the VR chat. That's something my kids play. A VR chat I can't handle VR games. I've tried. I get my blood pressure gets jacked up. I really enjoy playing Skyrim VR, but it caused so much distress on my body and blood pressure. I just couldn't continue on with that. The way that VR now, it needs a lot of improvement. I mean, it's in its infancy, but it's not my go-to in terms of gaming. My sons love it. They're on VR all the time, right? Um, a barred calendar. Yeah, a pin-up barred calendar. You can get me in all kinds of different ecstatic poses of me naked with my staff and stuff like that. You know, something like that, right? Share with the bard. Yeah, it is confusing with 3D different topics at once. Yeah, yeah. You know that I read an article about like Christian missionaries. I think I shared it in my Discord a while back. That VR chat is the new frontier for evangelization. I remember my son belonged to some church and had this one of his buddies. He was like 9 years old, and this young man is going into the audience of his church, speaking in tongues and casting out devils. I mean, it was hilarious listening to it. And what was funny is my son would get to preach in there. He would use my homilies. I would give him my homilies that I did, so he would read that off to the people. um, yeah, so the VR chat is a new frontier for Christian missionaries, right? I still remember the Minecraft church that my son had built to get married to his Minecraft girlfriend who lived on the other side of the world. They were going to have a ceremony in the Minecraft church. It's adorable, right? Spiritual entertainment, my friends. 7 days a week I am here out in the sacred grove here today in the wilderness for your entertainment leisure. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and join our community. You could play Uno with us. You could play Monopoly. You could play Dungeons and Dragons, Warhammer, um, uh, Twister, Nude, Twister, whatever you want. You're 1,270. Well, happy birthday to you. Yeah. Oh, where are we at? Good day, Branador. Thou shalt not pass. Then proceeds to eat. Yeah, take care of our good friend Branador. Good to see you always. Glad to have you here as a part of our community. Yeah, I've had a wonderful time getting to know some of you over the year, right? I've really enjoyed, you know, um, learning from you, playing games with you, right? It's been a lot of fun, right? I accept your nomination, Dr. Mantis Toboggan. Yeah, take care, Patty. Take care of yourself. We hope to see you on Discord. Hope to see you on Discord. The circuit bard is here. Good to have you. Now, you shared something. Are you in the technology business or music business or something? I forgot that shared something a while back on our YouTube. You are some type of performer or something, right? Um, can you stand? Let's see here. You have the Monopoly Life and Uno tabletop. You have all of it. Yeah. So you are ready to go, right? Whatever platform we have, you are ready to go with the Monopoly, right? Great community of people. Cryptoids. Yeah, we have cryptoids. We have self-proclaimed beast lords. We have people who channel other beings from other cosmoses. We got all kinds of wonderful people, right? I don't. If you are someone who channels a deity, it doesn't bother me. I want to know what's going on. Now, I might not agree with your experience, but I'm certainly willing to hear and have a conversation with you. We have a few people who are beings that are otherworldly in our community. I don't have a problem with it, as long as you're not trying to push it on me, right? You want to talk about it? That's wonderful, right? You will eat the deer. Good for you. You with it. Cthulhu rejoices. Yeah, Zerg, Vixen, all of our wonderful friends are here. You love Cthulhu, Patty. You are a lover of Cthulhu. Yeah, yeah. Cthulhu is an interesting reality. I mean, this idea, this ultimate reality is toast, right? The ultimate world to live in with no purpose, right? Very frightening stuff. The Arkham horror theme. You ever played an Arkham horror game? I played some on tabletop simulator with people. It's set in this universe where Cthulhu is Lord, right? He's going to devour everything. as long as you aren't like one of the countless Josephs that come here. Yeah, we don't care about your religion as long as you're showing courtesy. You're not here to convert us. You're here to share in our experience, right? We haven't seen Joseph in a while. I have a new policy, unfortunately. Once you are banned, you are banned. I used to let people come back that I permanently banned, right? But I'm not doing that anymore because there's been too many very inappropriate and evil people who have been in the comments. And I know that sometimes people are trolls and having a good time, but some of I am not able to remember who is the bad guy, who is the good guy. You know, we've had like severe expressions of abuse, even in like I've kicked people out of my Discord community that were doing terrible things to other people in the community. These people, I don't think I would ever have them back here, even though I do believe in redemption. I believe in healing for this sake of safety, right? Genuine sake of safety. Uh, who's the big man here? We have a big man. Make EDM. Yeah, I love electronic dance music. Yeah, that's one of my favorites here. What did I miss here? You don't like religion? Yeah. Well, most people that make good to see you. Yeah, a lot of people who are against religion, it's because they've been harmed by it in some way, right? There's a lot of good things in religion, but the way that it was given to you, you've been hurt by it. So you live in this constant state of response when you see like religion, fuck religion, right? You are in that. You're still in the religion, and when you're living like that. When you can walk away and understand that you are mistreated by people, you can really look at a religion objectively, right? To see what it has to offer, to see its value. As long as you're living in response, right? Now, I make fun of all religions. That's just my thing. You know, I've come out of all kinds of religious experience, but I don't let it define me, because I have friends in all religions, right? The real enemy is fundamentalism. That's what really hurts people, right? You learned a lot from Taoism. Yeah, see, that's a healthy religion, right? Taoism is a very healthy religion. It's more of a philosophy, right? I'm sure you would say, right? Religion causes pollution. Yeah, I'm, I'm sure there's lots of truth to that. Um, these days, are you gay? I'm homosexual on Tuesdays and Thursdays only, right? But you can be as gay as you want here. I don't care, right? I have to mix it up, right? I go, you are amsexual. Yes, I am not ashamed to have intimate feelings for the God Emperor. I am not ashamed at all. I am an emperor sexual. Yeah, that is something we in our Warhammer 40K games. You all know my desires. The mega church owners getting the private helicopter. I mean, yeah, that's ridiculous, right? What do you see when you see these people? Do you see Jesus, right? No, you see someone who's got all of these objects, right? It's Saturday. It's the wrong day to be homosexual. Yeah, homosexual Tuesdays and Thursdays only. Yeah. Uh, I'll share some of my electronic DAC music. Oh, I love that. Yeah, put it on the Discord. Yeah. Um, I've shared some of my favorites, like Rufus de Soul. Yeah, I mean, he's very spiritual. Um, Cassette is another that I really like, and Leineck and its arias. That those two combined, those people there. Lots of stuff from Germany, right? That I really to me listening to this house music, this electronic, it's clean in terms of you don't have to worry about the content. It is always to me very stable that it's for everybody, right? Uh, it's something that creates a peaceful atmosphere for meditation, right? I remember Leineck put like sayings from Alan Watts in some of his music. Yeah, so the house music to me is the electronic dance music. There's a certain genre of it it's really a meditation for me. Um, you don't even know what part of the world I come from, so you are Messin Mofa. Are you from Mustafar? That's far out of imperial control now. The volcanic planet, right? There's such a force of the dark side there. Does it affect the way you think? Is that why you're responding the way you do? Your son is making music well, getting hang of mixing. They taught him the piano already. Oh, that's wonderful. It's only 12, right? Yeah, that's beautiful. I love electronic dance, along with many other types of music as well, right? It's a hump day for you. Well, go do your humping, right? I won't stop you as long as you're hitting the like button, my friends. Hump all you want to. I don't get to see it. You want me to transform into a werewolf? Just to repair the missing limbs? Yeah. You should do Fridays and Sundays for homosexuality. Yeah. Well, uh, I don't want to change tradition. Rabbits and hump go like pairs. Yeah, my rabbits are always humping something, right? Now, thankfully, my rabbits aren't able to achieve conception. I have a female and male rabbit. One of the concerns about getting rabbits is when you have a male and female. I uh, I would never be able to let the little ones go, right? I would never. Who can I trust with this responsibility? Because I love my rabbits, so I would have a hard time, letting other people take them as pets, because there's a lot of you really don't know if they're going to a good home or not, right? Rabbits need. It's very difficult having a rabbit because you can't keep them in cages. You have to let them roam to really be free, right? Rabbits use a litter box. Rabbits chew up all of your walls. I've shown many times where I used to have carpet in my home. My rabbit ate all of the carpet. They're very difficult creatures, but um, the the rewards of the love certainly outdo all of the negatives that rabbits will do to your home, right? Uh, why is your rabbit acting like he's yobbing? What is that doing? Is he humping your leg? Right? Rabbits do that stuff. You saw another rabbit channel in your algorithm, and she uses the same voice as you do when you're talking. Really? Uh, she has that bond with the rabbit. Yeah. Um, I love my rabbits. I've never loved any other pets like I have my rabbits. They've taught me to love my other animals, like my tortoise, right? To have this bond, this union, is a sacred thing that is given to all humans. Oh my! Look at the yellow backdrop of the fecal matter there, amping it up times 10. Oh my! Oh, you like rabbits too? I bet you do, right? I bet you do. That doesn't hurt my feelings when someone tells me they eat animals. I'm not a vegan, so it doesn't bother me. No nutrition. Yeah, rabbits really don't have a lot to offer in terms of your table, right? It's like if you are to eat a rabbit, it's like eating a bag of potato chips in terms of the nourishment, right? There's not much there. Don't think animals that need to be kept in cages should be kept as pets. Yeah, it's not the best thing for some people, right? But animals want to be loved by you, right? And if you can meet them halfway, if you can provide a place for them to thrive, I think that's very important, right? Um, I eat rabbit food with them omelets. Yeah, my rabbits are very peculiar. I have this one rabbit food. They won't eat the rice in it. It's like all this adult nourishment. So I pour it in the bowl, and I come back. There's just a bowl of the healthy part is just left in the bowl, and they won't eat anything else. They'll just wait there by their dish until I top it off with the good stuff, right? So I got to mix it all together to kind of trick them into eating some of the good stuff, right? Yeah, my rabbit bears. Your pup allowed on all the furniture. It comes with you wherever you go. Yeah, yeah. It's good that they have that ability, to develop, right? When you have something in a cage, some things like if you have a fish, for instance, the fish cannot go with you everywhere. It needs a certain environment. Like my tortoise needs a cage, but I take it out of the cage for its exercise and health. But it needs the heat lamp for its stability and growth. It needs its own little space. My rabbits have their own little space. They like going under the bed. They have like their own little domain under there, under the bed. One of my son's beds is their special place to go when things aren't working out in the rest of the house, right? Um, where are we at here, my friends? Yes, Circuit Bart, our good friend. Spicy here today. Yeah, we are waking up, my friend. We are waking up. There's a spiritual connection between animals and their owner. It's been proven, certainly. Certainly. You have a black cat? Look at you. Look at you. You have a black cat. Where am I? That sounded weird, but I'm down for whatever. Oh, I have a kennel for him, but the door remains open if he is allowed to sleep on my bed if he wants to, right? Yeah. Some animals, they are meant for that companionship, right? That is every day. Certainly, the dog and the cat have proven that, right? I used to have a hamster. I let the hamster roam, but I had to put it away because for its own safety, right? There was periods where I let it roam, but I had to return it to the safety of its facility, its cage that it was in. They love those wheels. They really like that stuff. Yeah, Circuit Barn has a good name. Yeah, a connection with and yeah. My feral cats brought me breakfast yesterday. Oh, you cooked up one of the little rats, did you? Yeah. Hamsters yeah, hamsters, they don't have the best vision. One time my hamster escaped its cage. Um, the top of the cage was covered by a blanket or something. It pulled it through, penetrating the edge of the cage. It came out, it crawled out, and then it jumps off the side that's about 5 foot high of shelf. I mean, certainly it could have died, right? It doesn't see well. Hamsters have terrible vision. Thankfully, it was all right. You love my tortoise? Yeah. My tortoise is adorable. Every time I come into the room, she hears me speak. She puts her head up, starts doing this little number, winks at me. She's adorable, right? That was like one of I made a tortoise video last week. My daughter made it. Uh, and my tortoise is such good spirit, right? Some of you saw my daughter gave me a video about the terrible condition of her fish at her school. I mean, that thing was filthy, but the fish were adorable that she had showed me. I mean, there was all this algae. It was really, they need to clean that damn cage. Um, you don't need, tortoises are smart too. Yeah, some of them are. I mean, the intelligence of the animal, when it's given an atmosphere to thrive in, right? It can be all it can be. Our resident mythicist is here. Kevin, good to have you here for your entertainment leisure. There's the sun right there. Isn't it adorable? You are okay, great. Yeah. Um, Cade Spears, good to see you. He's trying to resist you, of course. It's impossible to resist the goblins. The goblins, right? Um, don't forget, like button, top of the screen there, my friends. Spiritual entertainment, 7 days a week. I am here. Today I'm in my sacred grove. This is the Druid Grove for me. This is where I find a special connection to the world around me in this place. And I really enjoy coming and watching the sun rise and go down. When it gets colder here, where I live, I like doing the sundown streams when the sun's setting. coming out here is the optimal experience for me. I'm just a twilight person, I guess. Um, let's see, spiritual freak 7 days a week. That's right. I am your favorite comedian. Well, thank you, Reggie. Um, I appreciate you saying that. Right? Cast a spell to summon living. I don't want to go on your pants, Rick. Have someone else do that magic for you. Right? Um, John Gamer, did I miss you? Did we do some gaming together? I don't recall. Right? You are a troll. Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, where are we at? What is your favorite Earth, Wind, and Fire song? Well, the one that's on the Minions, of course. Right? That's the only one, right? What is it? The about was it about November, September, or something? In September, that's the song, right? Um, Now you're in a bowl. Look at you. You are a man in a box, buried in your shit. Won't you come and save me? Save me, right? You're the man in the box. Your eyes have been tied shut, right? You can't see. Anybody know that? Anybody know that song, right? Uh, Kudos to you if you get that song, right? You love Ogrins. Yes, he does. He certainly is a lover of the Ogrin. We have all of the video documentary evidence to prove his love for the Ogrin folk, right? It's a great song. Dance, 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 dance. Alice in Chains, there it is. Our wonderful friend from the mountains is here. Why not? The mountain man. I was sharing earlier how you don't eat rabbits anymore. And we never asked you not to do that, but because you love rabbits now, you have chosen not to eat rabbits. When that was part of your experience as a huntsman up in the wilderness, at your dinner table, the rabbit was a nice little snack, but you don't eat it anymore. Yeah, Alice in Chains is a wonderful group, right? I enjoy their music. A big part of my childhood, Alice in Chains, right? Such a tragedy of this loss, right? The Ogren didn't look like it consented. You didn't see its mouth open, did you? Look, we'll go back and watch the video again. The Ogren is jaws open wide in rapture, right? The Ogren was having a great 9 Inch Nails. Oh, we love 9 Inch Nails too. Yeah, it's interesting to see the progress. If you look at Trent Reznor's earlier music, right, it was kind of, quite a different genre of music that, a lot of these musicians, they go through these things, kind of like what I've done, right? I've gone through all of these things here to get to that special place that you should be at in terms of your entertainment, right? Um, is he still performing? Is 9 Inch Nails, are they still out there? Remember when they brought David Bowie in? It was kind of like the crowd really didn't know. Now, Trent loved David Bowie, his older stuff, right? And like before, the dancing stuff, right? Stuff from the earlier time. And he brought David Bowie along with him. And I remember watching the interview of David Bowie. It's like, at least for the first 3 shows, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. He was like, it was terrible. The only one rooting for me was Trent, right? But then he learned to get the feeling of the crowd. And yeah, Perfect Circle was amazing. Insane Clown Posse, too much violence. I never found, when I was younger, that's when they had their experience, right? And what I saw with that was a lot of violence. I don't know if that is what they continue to do, but that was my experience. It certainly could be wrong. I'm sure they were having fun dressing up like demonic clowns and things. But that, for me, during that period of my life when they came out, I was 17 years old, right? And there's a lot of things I was listening to that was unhealthy for me. What was unhealthy for me was like groups like Isham, Natas, this negativity, this violence, Ghetto Boys, all this violence was, yeah, I was not in a good place. Now, I don't know, I don't remember any of their music, and I'm sure that some of you enjoy it, but I never really got into it in my later life, right? I have an AI in your home. He's an asshole. Really? Um, Isham is so fire, though. Yeah, well, there's a lot of darkness in that stuff, right? I mean, like the lyrics like, um, suck my penis with a rubber like a hubba bubba. That is, to me, uh, unhelpful in terms of the experience of loving other people, right? To see other females as objects. I mean, there's a lot of darkness and a lot of music out there, and I'm sure some people enjoy it, right? Uh, Yesterday, I was listening with my daughter and Justice for All. I'm like, this is what we used to listen to. This is, you listen to Metallica, what do you have? I mean, you have all these people depicting it in a certain way that are against the music, but it's beautiful if you listen to the lyrics. I mean, there's a health in there, powered by this primordial energy of the metal, right? For other people, it might be too violent for you, right? So this is all personal feeling. I certainly don't want to say that the clown people, that you don't have something special. I just I'm only speaking from my experience, which was not a good one. Um, Daddy Cloud House. Oh, we're at, let's see, I got 10 more percent, my friends, and I'll have to make up that deficit in the future with you. But we got at least another 30 minutes, and I probably got another 10, 15 minutes to get close to that 3 hours at least, right? You had an interview with the Ghetto Boys, admitted to selling their souls. Yeah, their music was terrible. Uh, like Gangster Love, talking about this violence towards women, right? I mean, these were not health. This was not healthy music for me, that objectified other people and treated violence as something wonderful, right? I love the Ghetto Boys, right? I memorized a lot of their lyrics, right? Um, but I'm sure that they look upon their past and now, like Ice Cube. He's like, some of that stuff. I have a family now. I don't really appreciate some of the things I talked about when I was younger, right? Let's see here. Hey, don't forget to like, my friends, up there at the top of your screen. Like and subscribe. We are in the sacred grove here today. Do you think it's literally the selling your soul, a contract, literally? Yeah. Well, for psychology, right? Some people, they arrive at whether they want to deem it as spiritual, or there's some type of compromise that you're involved in for your success, right? There's some type of, like, people, a lot of the clickbait, right? People who their humanity, some people think I am clickbait, but this is my tradition. This is my spirituality. I am a comedian. I do outrageous things. But you find a lot, like with a lot of things and within clickbait, that the devaluing of their humanity in order to be recognized, right? There are people who live this way because they think that's the only way for them to be successful, or to thrive, like selling your soul in that way, right? Let's see. It exists as far as we could see. Yeah. Is it? Look it up. They said they might be in the Illuminati as in a hotel. Yeah, they might have. I mean, it's just like Lady Gaga, right? There was a person I met with, and he offered me all this fame and stuff. You have Katy Perry, all of these people. They might be just making that shit up, right? Um, Morning Bard Gaming is totally morning Bard versus gaming Bard. Yeah, I'm an entertainer. I have many hats. I do acting and comedy and all of that stuff. This is serious Bard here when you're in the Grove, right? Um, there's a different mentality here. then you find when I'm gaming, the outrageousness of the Warhammer preacher for the Emperor, right? I really get into my shit, right? When I'm role playing or LARPing, I really get into it 100%. Right? I become the character. I become the experience, right? I'm one thing will change my girlfriend. I don't. I think all the weird stuff has started to come out in Hollywood. They are definitely selling their morals in order. Yeah, there's all kinds of these strange behaviors that you hear about, right? Strange rituals that people go through, right, in order to find success, right? Uh, I remember what is it? I'm trying to think of the program now. It'll come back to me later. As an example, just subscribe, bro. Thanks for being cool. Well, thank you, Richie. Appreciate you being here for your entertainment leisure. 7 days a week, my friends. Like button at the top of your screen and subscribe. And I'm going to be here for another 8%. So that might be 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes for your entertainment leisure. All to the good graces of our community here. It's been helpful doing these challenges. I think have been quite helpful. So I'm going to continue to do them, offer up as a consolation prize, spending an extra hour with you for the super things have been very helpful to me. The 27 curse, yeah, stuff like that, right? That will turn me into a decent person as a girlfriend. Well, the idea of having a girlfriend and everything will be okay is an illusion. You have to be okay first before you can have another relationship, or you're going to be using them the whole time for your stability, and that's unhealthy, right? Learn to love yourself, learn to be content with yourself, and then enter a relationship, or you're not going to grow. As long as you're living on that other person's reality, you do not develop because you're living in an illusion. That person cannot give that to you. That is something you must achieve for yourself. Yeah, it's a lot to put on a girl, right? I mean, I used to live that way most of my life. I couldn't exist without a girlfriend. And I'm like, well, now I need a boyfriend to be happy, right? Um, Take care, Dr. Mantis. Good to have you here. And a fresh Gaia smile. Uh, Good to have you here, our friend. Always got interesting things on your channel. This adorable, she's doing this ritual with these, the noises where you stir the pots and things, and it makes this very meditate. And here comes this kitty cat out jumping in the pots and everything. I mean, it was adorable. She has this adorable kitty cat that was on her channel, right? What's your cat's name? What is your cat's name? Your cat is adorable. You need a lot of boyfriends to be happy. I understand. Yeah. Um, Take care, Dementus. I don't know if I'll ever be able to change because I don't know how to. Uh, well, once you receive the opportunity, you take the information given to you, right? Uh, the change is really your responsibility. It's taking responsibility, doing that difficult work before you engage in a relationship, because the relationship is not going to be a real if you're always dependent on that person to be loved, right? A lot of people, growing up, we are in these parental relationships. Yeah, for whatever reason, this is like a massive behavior where the parents aren't loving you. Like they never say, I love you, you're important to me. They never give you a hug, right? And, they only love you when you're winning on your sports team or some shit like that, when you're doing in school, you're doing your religion well. Then they love you. So people learn these behaviors and they take them with them into relationships, right? And this is unhealthy. This is an unhealthy thing to do. Um, the dependence on the other person, right? In this context, right? You treat other people that way. I will love you when you affirm me. I will love you when you're wearing that nice clothing. I will love you. When you're dependent on that other person, You have to understand, you cannot be in the same illusion to really love the other person. You cannot love. It took me a long time to love my wife, right? I loved my wife, but I did not love my wife. Probably for the first 20 years, right? It was always because of what she did for me. And I made a decision when I was 20 years into the marriage. I'm like, I'm just going to love her no matter what. I don't care what she can do for me. And then I started loving her, right? In a real and genuine way, when I was no longer had to rely on what she was doing. And that was like the best thing in our marriage, right? It allowed us to flourish because she was already loving me that way. Let's see here. Where am I at? Saint can make you very rich. Well, give me some money, Satan. I will certainly take the donations, right? Uh, you had tried to, but failed several times. Well, never give up. You have unlimited resources within you, right? Love changes your life. Yeah, when love is genuine, when it is freely given to you, where you don't have to follow any rules, where you don't have to achieve a certain status, that's an invitation into authentic love and authentic relationship. That's why I reject the God of the Bible, because the God of the Bible says, you must first do these, and then I will. It says that. Follow these rules, and I will be your God. That is not love, right? That is not love at all. Let's see here. Where am I at? You never go broke when you invest in yourself. Powerful, powerful advice. I fall constantly, but I learn every time best I can. We are made to fall so we can rise again. Wise words from our Reiki master. Life is stressful. I know I have erectile dysfunction on me. I cannot, it's a stressful experience. I love how he didn't even bother to tell Adam and Eve why they should eat the, yeah. I mean, all of these mythologies were never meant to be facts, right? Every fear can be turned into growth. Certainly, certainly, yeah. Um, do it. That's right. Just do it. The Nike symbol, right? You have to, the wholeness comes through practice. Practice, right? One of the most wonderful things you can do for yourself is do things by yourself in silence, like through meditations and prayers, or even going out eating dinner by yourself, uh, knowing that you don't need affirmation, that you have value, right? There's different practices that psychology could teach you and religion um, to achieve this state of appreciating what you are without having other people to affirm it. By making a decision to say, I am worthy. I choose to live that way. I don't care what other people think. I believe I am worthy. No one else can make that statement for you. If your children need that, right? They need you to tell you that you are worthy. Well, when you're an adult, you have to accept the fact that you are, and that is a courageous choice to make sometimes for people, because there's all these things in the world telling you you're not worthy, right? Oh, you're going to you got some energy to talk. Good for you. Um, Believe in yourself, right? Yeah. It all begins from your experience, your world. Be a giver, right? Share with what you have. Hit the like button. Hit it right up there, my friends. We are almost at the end of the battery here. We're getting close. We got 3% left. 3% to be with you, my friend. And we almost hit 2 hours, so 3 hours. So that's a good thing, my friends. Do I practice ritual magic or natural magic? I practice Druidry. Now, the magic in Druidry is working with what's already here. I don't need to do rituals in order to accomplish that in terms of. Now, I don't have a problem with people using wands and things as an expression of. I don't have a problem. For me, I'm not a big ritual person. My ritual is my activity. what's going on in here. That's how I enter into. Now, um, like when I joined my religious order, the Order of Bards, Ovites, and Druids, they have all of these wonderful rituals. And when I would engage in them, they're beautiful, but it felt like I was peeling an orange. I was already at the essence, right? So that's how I see ritual. I'm already there. I don't need to do all these activities unless I'm in a community, because you need those symbols as a form of sharing. Take a natural walk, right? Thank you for giving the gift of membership, Patty Craig. Uh, Derek Bendoverman, you have received the membership. That means you're going to be doing some bending over to our Discord channel. There's a members only tab. We'd love to see you on there. Derek's been with us quite a while, right? Uh, Bro B has a problem getting a girl. Yes, I do. I'm homosexual. Why would I want a girl? Yeah. Um, let's see here. Hell is in your mind. It isn't somewhere you go. It's something you live until you choose to walk out of it, right? Yeah, we create all these realities, right? It's possible that Loki is actually Lucifer. No, Loki is trickster energy, right? I am Loki. Loki is a certain type of spirituality, right? There's nothing satanic about it for me. Why worry about hell and heaven when you, yeah, right? They have all of these philosophies where they keep you somewhere that is not real, right? The great outdoors, Paul, the great outdoors, my friends. Yeah, Lucifer can be a Prometheus in certain philosophies. There's all these people that come down to help you, right? To help you to get that start. Spiritual entertainment, we're almost at the end here, my friends. Almost at the end. We have, 1% of the bard left. Oh, there it is. Oh, my friends, the bell has ring. I really had a good talk with you these 3 hours that we're here. I really appreciate you being here. And I look forward to our conversation tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Back at the studio. Later on today, games. Tomorrow, later on, games as well. Hopefully, we'll do Monopoly today. If we don't do it today, we'll do Monopoly tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to seeing my community members who will live stream that. Wonderful conversations around a table of some Monopoly. Have a great rest of your day, friends.